it's real dark. Gotta find a spark to illuminate the past so we don't go astray. Gotta listen to what John and Yancy gotta say. Get woke. Time to get woke.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get Woke with John and Yancy. My name is John Haynes, and I'm here without my co-host and partner, Yancy Seals. Yancy's on a private mission. He's on a special mission, to put it like that. He'll discuss it next week when he gets here. So since it's just me, I am going to focus on several things. Three of them I actually wrote videos on earlier last week. The first one is the gutting of the Voting Rights Act. The Supreme Court, extremely disappointing, paid for and bought Supreme Court, actually gutted the Voting Rights Act. And it's Section 2 they messed up. However, I want to be crystal clear about this. It does not prohibit anyone from voting. It does not stop you from voting. What it does is it allows Louisiana and other states to redraw their district maps, which will separate Black people's votes, which will allow them not to have power in their well, they'll have power in their vote, but say, for instance, if there's one area where a person is going to enjoy a lot of different votes from people, it's going to separate the Black vote. Put it like that. That's the simplest way for me to put it. It's going to separate the Black vote, and it'll wound up in the long run. Black people will not have representation in Congress, as much representation in Congress, depending on your state. Now, some people don't understand how serious this is. They think, well, it's just Black people, and that's just that. Well, it's not, because through that vote allowed other people to vote too. Okay, we got to think about not just Black people, but other minorities, and they being the fascist Republican Party, which I used to be a part of the Republican Party. I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent. However, the Republican Party lost their soul, and they're doing things like suing to gut the Voting Rights Act. Ever since Roberts got into office, that was his main goal, is to undo all of the African American achievements and or the rights that we have received from Congress. For some reason, they believe that it weakens America. Of course, most sane people don't believe that, but that's what the fascists believe. It's horrible the way the Supreme Court did this, and we're going to have to revisit the Supreme Court if and when the Democrats take power. They're going to have to revisit the Supreme Court. I mean, they're going to have to add people to the Supreme Court and set term limits. Some of these people, they don't need to be in the Supreme Court 50 years. There should be term limits, and then like every political office should have term limits. You do your thing 8 years or so, maybe 16 for the Supreme Court, then you go home and allow younger people who is going to inherit this country, allow them the opportunity to run the country or set the country up to be the way they want it. MAGA is making this country, make America great again. They want the country to be what it was prior to civil rights, and that's quite evident. The Donald Trump, and I refuse to call him president because he's not a president. There should be, his name and president shouldn't even be in the same sentence. But Donald Trump, since he was voted into office, has been attempting to erase Black people. And we're going to get into that a little bit later with his Bible. And I'm going to explain to you, you're going to be shocked of what's left out of his Bible. Anyway, so the Supreme Court sided with the Trump administration. And now Louisiana and other states are going about redrawing their districts. You can find a broken down. I broke it down completely in the video that I made. You go to YouTube and go to InfoBlips LLC, and the video, there's over 200 videos, but that video is the latest. Find it, click on it. I think it's about maybe 15, 20 minutes long, if that long, because I know people's attention span is not that long. But it explains to you exactly what the Supreme Court did and how it affects Black people and the voting rights of other people. Again, so people could understand, it does not prohibit you from voting if you are a minority. Now, the way around this is to register to vote. It doesn't matter whether you have to go get whatever they're asking for, you have time to get it. If you need a birth certificate, write the state in which you were born. It should be online. And the one that I did was online. And pay the $12. They will send you a legally stamped copy of your birth certificate. If you need one, if you've been married and changed your names, then all they need is a trail. So you need to get the trail from when you were divorced, or when you were married, or when your loved one died, and then you mail that in, and they will send you all the information you need in the mail. You don't even have to leave your house. Okay, so the thing of it does it do have Congress made it harder? Have the Republicans made it harder in some states? Yes. Yes, they're requiring this or requiring that. I don't want to hear about that no more. Get what they require. Okay, they won that. So don't argue about it. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. They've won that. Get what they need so you can get yourself out to vote in November. It is extremely important that all people, especially Black people, and we need to vote in a block. And let me explain what that means, just so you understand, right? It doesn't matter whether or not you like the person. And I'm sorry I'm saying it this way, but this is the game that's being played, right? The Republicans play this game. And in order to win, we have to play this game. It doesn't matter whether you like them. It doesn't matter whether, well, I agree with some of the things, but not all. I don't care. You vote for them. You vote for them in a block. You vote all blue. Now, in the future, you may not do this. I've never done that. But I'm telling everybody now, you vote all blue. If you want these fascists out of office, you have to vote them all out of office. Now, some of you that say, voting doesn't matter, shut up. Because you don't understand what you're talking about. And whoever told you that is a liar. And they're trying to make you not vote. All right? Humor me. Register to vote. If you need help register to vote, contact infoblips@activist.com and I will walk you through the process. Okay? We have to register to vote and vote as a block. And I'll explain to you as we get closer to November who to vote for in which state. And yeah, I've never told anybody who to vote for, but I will tell you this time. As long as they're not ready, if you don't vote, then you're playing right into the hands of the fascists, because they expect you to go, oh, I ain't got time for all that. No, this is too important. And you have time to do it. It's not 3 weeks. It's not 2 weeks. You have, 5 months or so in order to do this. So make a plan. Get a community plan. If you are one of the church people, get together with the people in your church. Make sure that they're all registered to vote. Democrat, not Christian nationalists. Like, I'm sorry. I don't want Christian nationalists. No, you go and vote for whoever you want, unless you have had a come to Jesus moment and you understand that these people are evil and you want to vote them out of office. Then welcome to the crowd, okay? Welcome to reality. But if not, then keep voting for your demon. I don't use that term loosely. I don't have time for the excuses. They aren't. It's like I wrote a song. Excuses are like armpits. Everybody got at least two. Everybody's got two. So that's my spiel on that. So yes, is it horrible? Is it a gut punch? Absolutely. It's a gut punch. But us who understood the Supreme Court and who they're owned by at this point in time, they're owned by AIPAC and they're owned by MAGA and they're owned by Donald Trump, Dozen Don, right? They're owned by him. So we knew that they're going and that might not be out. Get ready for birthright citizenship. Okay, get ready for that. Okay, I don't believe that. I don't believe for a minute that they're not going to do what he's asking. They took a pause on it, but I don't believe for a second that they're not going to do what Donald Trump is asking them to do. Why? I have no experience because except for they're in a cult, and with the exception of anybody, if if the Republicans lose in November, most of them are going to go to jail, and they know this. That is why I'm saying to the Democrat Party and to Democrats, independents, and to the Republicans that have had the come to Jesus moment, okay, if you think that they're just going to say, oh, we lost a vote, too bad, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. This is going to be a huge fight. Something will happen before the election, and I don't know what, because I don't, see things. But I know that what I know, that something's going to happen before the elections for Trump to either delay the elections or for them something's going to happen. Believe me. Keep your eye on the prize. No matter what happens, go and vote. It's up to the states, not the federal government. It's up to the states to decide whether and when they're going to have voting for the general election, in the general election. It has nothing to do with the federal government. So we keep that straight and understand that, each state is different and each state will have their own say. So Louisiana is trying to delay the midterm right now, and they may be successful. I don't know, because the Republicans are playing really loose with the Constitution. They're playing really loose with rules and regulation and the law. I mean, hell, their president is breaking the law as we speak. All right, it's just insane, the things that are happening right now. So I'm gonna move on to the next topic. The next topic is the Trump Bible. You heard me right. The Trump, or the God Bless America Bible, as it's called. Now, the God Bless America Bible is being sold by the President of the United States for $60. You can buy the Trump Bible, okay? It has basically the books of the Bible plus added books. I don't know what he's put in there, but because I will not buy it unless someone gives it to me. I will not even get it. But it's supposedly he has all of the chapters and verses, chapter and verse, in the Bible that they have in most Bibles, and he also has the original form of the Constitution of the United States of America, including the 10 Bills of Rights. I drew a minute. The Bill of Rights. However, 11 through 27 is out. Okay. So 3/5 of a person is in. Voting rights is out. Women voting is out. There's just so much that is left out. 11 through 27 is that go look it up. Actually, if you look up the video that I made, again, YouTube, InfoBlips LLC, and at InfoBlips LLC, and you'll find out. I break it all the way down. It explains to you exactly what is missing out of the Constitution. And it explains a lot. It explains what Donald Trump is doing and what he wants to do and what MAGA wants to do. Again, according to them, America was great when it was pre-civil rights. So they want Jim Crow. They want to be able to be supreme because at core they're white supremacists. Christian nationalists, white supremacists. Evangelicals, white supremacists. And I know it's shock. Oh my God, they're black evangelicals, brainwashed white supremacists. Okay, it's the way it is. That's the way I believe it is. Okay, because of their actions. And I'm not just calling names, I'm telling you because of their actions. You support a pedophile, you support a white supremacist, you are a pedophile supporter and a white supremacist. Okay? That's just the way I see it. The lines are being drawn in the sand. It's right there. The time for us to play around and oh, you don't say that too loud. Don't say that too loud because they might come and get you. Bring it on. They've already, I mean, I'm under a lot of times, a lot of the videos that I drop, I get, especially from TikTok, I get all kind of pushback. You can't say this, you can't do that. Don't say this, don't say that. You know, it's just no longer land of the free, home of the brave. It's land of the thieves, home of the depraved. Okay, and that's the way I see it. Anytime we vote for a person who we knew was in the Epstein files, who we knew they were raping young women and young children, because it's not just women, but it's the survivors that are there are women, who we knew this, yet they still voted for him, who we knew had a group of people that beat and killed police officers that were, I mean, it's just crazy. We knew this. We knew it'd be going in, and the Americans still voted for this entity they call Donald Trump. Donald Trump said he's going to bring prices down day one. Okay. Donald Trump said no more wars, no more. We have lost the war with Iran, and just that's that. If we hadn't lost the world war right now, the Straits of Hormuz would be open, and your gas wouldn't be $5.60 a gallon, which I paid the other day, which is insane. I don't know why people are not jumping through the roof. I don't know why people are not. What I mean, it's ridiculous. No one's even. They're just like, oh yeah, gas was expensive. Like, what is it going to take? I mean, what is it going to take? you know, well, I'll tell you what it's going to take. Okay, I explained this before. The last shipment that the United States received of oil was in February. It takes 45 days for the oil to get from the Middle East to the United States for us to use it. Okay. Since we hadn't received oil in since February, and this is now May the 4th. Oh, by the way, May the 4th be with you. Then there's going to be a gap of when jet fuel is going to be extremely expensive and or scarce, hence Spirit Airlines going out of business. JetBlue is not too far behind. Okay. Then your diesel is going to follow that. And people go, what about diesel? Well, everything that we use in our stores is shipped to us from a ship to a truck. Okay, so diesel fuel it's already gone up and it's going to wind up being double by the end of this. And that means that your food prices are going to be double because we live in a society where if the increases come to me, I'm passing it on to you. Okay, that's a capitalist society. Dog eat dog, and that's basically what capitalism is. Look, I like to make money. I'm not making money doing this, but I like to make money. But the bottom line is, I'm not going to do somebody in to make money. True capitalists, they don't care. They'll kill your mama as long as they can get paid. All right? They'll let your mama die. And they do because of your parents die. And they do because of the hospitalization that we have here in America. It's all capitalism. So that's it, baby. Anyway, so your food is going to cost double. by the end of this. And then after that, your electricity is going to be sky high. How are you going to pay for it? They're already in some places that is doubled. Okay, so then the petrodollar is on wobbly legs, man. And what's the petrodollar? I'll do a video on it, but it's basically the reason why we actually are able to live the way we live at the level that we live at because of the petrodollar, because of other countries around the world having to have dollars in order to buy oil. And it's one big mess that this incompetent imbecile has gotten us into. And there is no way out. See, in order for him to say, in order for Trump to say that he won the war, that means that the Straits of Hormuz would be back open again. And, everybody, everything would be okay. But it's not. It's not because he listened to Benjamin Netanyahu, which is another whole show we'll talk about, and got us into this war. And there is no out. If he puts troops on the ground if he put boots on the ground, if we invade that country, it is going to be horrible. And thousands of American young people, the best and brightest that we have, is going to die. Now, some people, some fascists, some white supremacists say it's cool because at the elite level, and I've been at meetings with them, I'm not part of them, but I've had the pleasure, the disdain of being at dinner with them. They believe that they need to shrink the population of the world anyway. As long as it's not their sons or daughter or relatives, then it won't be. It'll be yours or ours, and they don't care about that. So they create wars. Order out of chaos, y'all. Yeah, we'll talk about that sometime. Order out of chaos. And that's basically what's happening here with us right now. So if you want information about the Trump Bible, in Oklahoma, the superintendent of Oklahoma is pushing this Bible because he wants it in school. Now remember, we don't have a Department of Education anymore. Okay. So they want to push that Bible through all of the elementary schools in America. Understand that if the young people are not taught about the accomplishments of Black people, they will be subject to the mindset of white supremacists. They will be indoctrinated into a white supremacist mindset. Understand that if they are not taught the accomplishments of Black people, they will not understand or even know what Black people did. I mean, hell, they did a great job with us because I didn't know what I knew about Black people until I got to college. Okay, but if we allow that to happen by allowing ourselves to be erased from history, the younger kids are not going to know. They will not. What they're going to be introduced to as people of color is a burden on society. We went to Africa, we felt sorry for them, and we brought them over here to work for us and so that the poor savages can learn how to live a better life, which couldn't be further from the truth. The reason why the Africans were brought over here is because the idiots that came from Europe didn't know how to grow. They didn't know agriculture. They didn't know waste sewage. They didn't know any of that. When they were still, throwing shit in the street in France, Vive la France, right? The people in Africa already had sewage systems. I mean, when these funky ass people in Paris was running around splashing perfume on them, perfume, the term, you smell like a French whore. That's where that comes from because instead of bathing, they splash perfume on themselves, and the Africans taught them how to bathe or how to cleanse themselves. I'm just telling you facts. I'm just telling you facts. But they're going to be taught, the younger kids are going to be taught that these savages came over to America to receive a better life. And that's what they're going to be taught. And that's what they're going to believe. Because that's what a lot of white people believe. A lot of people, I've talked to them. I have talked with them, and in order you're not going to change their mind until, well, you're not. Some of them, you're never going to change their mind. That's why they hate us, because they believe that black people are a burden to them, and if it wasn't for black people, they would have a better life. That's the lie that they've been sold. That's the lie that the colonizers and the Europeans and the elites are really good at selling. So that's what they do. And this is what a lot of people believe. And it's unsettling, and it's uncomfortable to talk about, because I'm not talking about every person that doesn't have melanin, but I'm talking about the great majority who have not had the come to Jesus moment and understand that no, we're all one people. We're just alike. All of us. All of us, and one thing, like Fred Hampton, we have to get together. Poor black people, poor white people, especially poor white people. Yeah, they're dogging y'all, and y'all don't even see it. Okay. Um, all other races, Asians, all of the other races, we have to learn to vote in a block, so that way we can be represented, so that way we can have a piece of the pie. I mean, if we're looking for a more perfect union, I don't know any other way to do it. Now, I have a plan. I do have a plan. I came across this. I posted a video, and one of my friends posted something saying to get rid of um, mm, the college, the electoral college, to get rid of the electoral college. In order to get rid of the electoral college requires us to go to Congress, and requires us to change the Constitution. That is not going to happen. Not in this environment. That is not going to happen. However, in researching this, I found the National Popular Vote Institute Compact, or the NPVIC. The NPVIC, National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. Basically, what that is that the states that sign up for it, the votes of their people will go to the person that wins the popular vote. You might say, well, it happens that way now. No, it does not. It does not. We have a representative government, and our votes go to electors, and the electors make a vote. The electors cast their ballot for the people who win in their state, rather than casting the ballot for the person who wins the popular vote. Now, if you go to, again, if you go to YouTube, I have created a video all about this that explains exactly what this is, and it explains what states have already signed. The California is one. Yay, California. California is one, and there's 17 states that has actually joined this compact. If we get a couple more to reach 270, and that's the only time it kicks in. If it reaches 270 votes, that means that that person has won the popular vote in America, and that person will become president. That is a way around, totally a way around this college, okay, which we shouldn't even have it anyway. But it's a way, to me, it's fair. One vote, one person. The electoral college is not fair. One vote, one person, one vote to one person. If that person wins 270, they win. Period. I mean, look, hell, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. The popular vote is what should elect presidents, not the reconstructed votes through any other form, because they have learned a way to manipulate that. When I say they, I'm talking about Elon Musk. I'm talking about the tech bros, right? These people have learned backdoors. These people have learned ways to interfere with our elections. And there is a study that's going on right now, and they have receipts. I haven't studied it, so I can't say for a fact, but I know that they have found a way to manipulate through the back end. That's why Elon Musk knew 4 hours before the votes were in that Trump had won. You got to look at what's going on. Now, a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, this is way too much. This is the reason why I'm not involved in politics." This year, you're going to have to put down the whatever your vice is and understand and get involved in politics. Get involved to the point of where you at least listen to this show, right? Or shows like this, that you press the like button on this show, that you take your time, go to YouTube, look up InfoBlips LLC at InfoBlips LLC, and then subscribe. And there's 200 videos there. I have a wealth of information that I have researched and studied, and people have helped me with to put out these videos. I don't get paid for it at all. I don't receive one dime. Actually, I pay. I pay for this platform. I pay for the information I pay for the thing, the cameras and all the computers and stuff that we have. My time in order to do the editing, because I don't have an editing person. I don't have a person that runs cameras and editing and sound and all that. That's just me. It's just me. So yes, I'm asking you to subscribe. It's free. Yes, I'm asking you to like it, because it's a lot of work that goes into this, right? To give information to you guys. I'm driven to do this. Believe me, if I want to play games, video games, or, I can't golf because of my back. But if there's other things I could do. I create music and I love creating music, and I would dedicate more time to that. But I'm driven to do this. I hear something and all of a sudden a video comes into my mind and I do this. So at least support me by pressing the like button. Okay, well, that's going to be it for right now today. I mean, Yancey's not here, and he will probably keep me honed in. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot happening right now. The Iran war, we have lost. The Iran war right now, we're spending $1 billion a day. Tomahawk missiles are down to, we have what I think they said 30% left. If we have to go and defend ourselves anywhere around the world, we're going to be lacking. And this is what happened to Rome. This is what happened to all great empires, Britain. This is what happens to all great empires, where they overextend themselves and they get madmen that get in power that think that, they can do anything and there's no repercussions to, because no one's checking their evilness, right? So, I mean, but when I say that, something just hit my mind. We have to understand as America that if there is consequences for your actions, we're in a shitload of trouble. We paid for a genocide in Gaza. We paid for this. We paid for the bombs that were falling on Iraq. Our tax dollars paid for this. We give money to Israel, who actually attacks Lebanon and attempting to do the same thing in Lebanon that they did in Gaza, that we watched on TV. We paid for it. Without our money, Israel would be nothing. They would not be able to attack and kill people in Gaza. They will not be able to attack and kill people in Lebanon. If you will hear, well, Israel has a right to defend itself. Bullshit. If Israel starts the wars, so that's the reason why people attack them. And if they can't defend themselves, then maybe they don't need a nation. Why do they need our young people to die for them? Why do they need our money And really they don't, because most of the time they run a surplus. And we give them what, $330 billion, $300 billion a year? For what? Their people get free health care. Their people get free mortgage assistance. Their people get what is it? Free health care. Do we get that? No. No, not at all. They don't need our money. They take our money, but they don't need our money. And it's time for us to stop. I said it online. We need to divest in Israel immediately. Immediately. I mean, like now. Stop sending them money so they can stop sending bombs, so that maybe we can reconcile. And and like part of scripture says, if we are able to repent, right, and move away from our evil ways, then God will bless our land. Part of our evil ways is giving money to an evil nation to commit genocide. Anyway, that's it for me right now. I thank you guys for listening. Take care of yourselves, stock up on things, and go look at my YouTube channel. Subscribe so you can get the information when I drop, because I drop information at least 3-4 times a week. And it's going to be important for you to actually have this information, because the mainstream media is not giving you what's going on. They're bought and paid for, and they're being silenced by their overlords, the people that own them. Watch and see how careful they talk. Listen to see what they say just alike. They're not going to tell you things like we're losing the war. We've lost the war. And more than 13 Americans have died, way more, exponentially more. All right, that's it, you guys. Yancey will be here next week, and he will be able to explain to you his very special assignment. Anyway, thank you guys very much. Take care of yourselves. Peace.
It's real dark.